Good day, Nublets. Your training is coming along nicely. I hope you are taking these tips and tricks with you onto the battlefield and becoming more effective and less nub-like killing machines. While killing is important to a healthy KDR, there is something a lot of you nubs seem to forget, and that is a little thing called objectives. When you join a Conquest, Rush, Domination, or heck, even TDM match, there is a clear-cut objective. So we're going to discuss what those objectives are today, so you can stop being the source of gamer rage in all of your online matches. Let's start with Conquest. In this game type, it is your job, regardless of your class, to help your team capture and, more importantly, maintain points on the map. This may range anywhere from 3 all the way up to 7 capture points on some of the larger maps. So priority number 1, capture the flags. Number 2, hold those flags. Number 3, maintain more capture points than your opponent. And finally, kill those jerks on the other team. If you can follow all of these steps, you will effectively drain the other team of their spawn tickets, resulting in cheers, hollering, and woots from you, the winning team. Now, a lot of people will instead jump into servers running Conquest and go TDM style on the map. Well, guess what? You can kill me all you want. If I hold more than half of the objectives, I will drain your tickets faster than you can kill away my tickets. So PTFO. Don't just capture, maintain your caps. It's important that you keep your head on a swivel. Should you see a point falling, get there, eliminate the threat, and recap the position. You must maintain more flags, or else you are in for a harsh dose of defeat. Conquest maps tend to be rather large and host vehicles. And don't be a little Betty useless and take up valuable vehicles that you don't know how to use and cost your team the game. Use what you are good at and help your team maintain map control for the win. I don't care if you're pubbing, nobody likes to lose. And if you want to play TDM, there are a million servers playing nose hair canals all day long for the likes of you, Nublet. So PTFO. Now let's take a look at Domination, or as it's better known in Battlefield as Conquest Domination. It's similar to Conquest mode, but there are differences. There are points that you must hold in order to drain the other team's spawn tickets. The primary difference being, this mode is usually played, or is always played, on small maps, and more specifically the close quarters expansion maps. So it's tight corridors, close gunfights, and extremely exposed capture points. The other large difference is that while uncapping a location is the same as Conquest, capping that location takes no more than about 2 seconds. So when you see your flag being taken, you need to get there fast. You maybe have 30 seconds to deal with a contested flag, whereas Conquest you have more like 1 to 2 minutes. Now that may not seem like much, but that can be the difference between victory and defeat. Now, as with other game types, and remembering that these are tight maps, those with assault and support classes, please, for the love of all that is holy, drop your crates. Tight maps, lots of crazy gun battles, you need to support your team with ammo and health. Don't nub it up, support your team. Watch your flags as they're being capped, get there, eliminate the threat, and maintain map control. Now let's take a look at Rush. In this game type you have 2 objectives. If you are the attacking team, then you have 2 places you are trying to blow up with fire in order to unlock more areas to blow up until you reach the end. This may sound easy, but guess what? The other team is crawling all over those places with booby traps and bullets and bad haircuts. So play smart. Like peeking, you need to approach with caution and with a sizable force. This may come as a shock to some of you Rambo nublets, but one person is not going to destroy an objective in Rush. And here's why. There's a timer. You don't just get to run in and go boom, I win. It takes time. You have to set the charge and hang out there, often totally exposed on all sides, while you wait for the longest charge in history to detonate. Timing, patience, tactics, and numbers are key to winning a game of Rush. And if you're on the defending team, then guess what? Defend those same places from being blown up with fire, and make darn sure the other team doesn't get their dirty, grimy paws all over your box of goodies. But Echo, I thought camping was for noobs. No. Rush is different. Rush is all about setting up a trap for your opponent. If they want to take your beeping box and blow it all to hell, then they better work hard for it. Losing limbs, lives, and sanity just to catch a glimpse of your glorious beeping box thingy, whatever you want to call that MCOM station. A lot of people overlook the element of strategy to a game of Rush. Some people go Rambo on it, with huge squads of troops. Others go for covert option and try to sneak in. Point is, you can't let it happen. This is not a time to go rushing the opponent. Why bother? They literally have to rush you in order to win the game. So set traps. Find a nice perch, locate targets, and eliminate with extreme prejudice. Now let's talk about the new game type, Capture the Flag. This is one of the most classic game types in a video game as far as I'm concerned, besides TDM, of course. Now both teams have a central flag location, and this is where your flag is kept, and where you need to retrieve the opposing team's flag in order to capture it. Obviously the opposing team has the exact same objective. Now this game type was released with the latest DLC, so dirt bikes are also involved. And you get a full arsenal of choppers, tanks, and infantry on both teams, so these matches can often end up very intense and fast-paced. However, they can also be slow-paced if there's a lot of tactic being used, or at least defense from both teams. Which brings me to my next point. As a member of your team, you really need to make a decision up front, and preferably communicate that with your team. Are you going to be an attacker and try to retrieve the enemy's flag? Or are you going to stay at home, set up traps, and defend your flag to the death? This is a game type where random TDM Rambo tactics will seriously lose the game for your team. So smarten up. Pick a role, attacking or defending. If you're an attacker, there's a few things you'll want to consider. Who else is attacking? Am I alone, or do I have backup? If you have backup, it's important that you try to coordinate with those players to assess if you have a teammate that can help you get out of the other team's spawn and back to your own to cap the flag. If you're alone, then you really need to be careful. Do some scouting. CTF doesn't have to be a quick cap to victory. Does the other team have defenses? Is it armor, C4, mines, infantry, claymores? Or is the other team filled with nubs who abandoned their flag? Also, if you're alone, once you grab the flag, how are you going to get it back? Maybe you should find some armor or a bike and drive it close. Grab the flag, hop back in, and drive like the wind to get away. There's a lot to think about as an attacker on CTF. Make a plan of attack. Am I going left or right? What if I encounter armor or air? What if there's C4? If you go into the attack thinking about your plan, you will often be more successful in actually hauling that flag back to your base. So play it smart. Now if you're a defender, there's a few things that you'll also want to consider. Who else is defending? How many of you are there? What is your trap or ambush going to be? Are you going to sit high on the map and spot targets that are inbound for your teammates to eliminate? Or are you going to puppy guard the flag with C4, just waiting to pull the trigger on some dirty flag capper? Do you even have the tools necessary for defending the flag? If you're new to the game in a lower rank, and you don't have C4 or mines, claymores, or even just good weapons, I would maybe suggest that you go on assault, where your loadout, quite frankly, is going to hurt less. The offense can be weak if it's fast, but if the defense is weak, the other team is definitely going to cap more flags. So be smart. Do you have armor or air that you can use to help defend? Maybe you roll a recon with a SOFLAM, and you're lasing targets that get close to help out your team. The point is, when you're a defender, remember that your objective is that big shiny flag that the other team so desperately wants. Kills are good, but defending that flag has to be king. If you die in the process but the flag is secured, that's a great move. If you get 10 kills but they still have the flag, that's a bad move. Always target that flag carrier, because it's going to happen. The other team will get the flag, but it's your job to stop them if they do. Javelins, mines, SOFLAMs, all good tools to helping your team eliminate the scumbags stealing your property. So play it smart. Now let's take a look at TDM. You may be thinking, Echo, there's no objective in TDM. Why are you yelling PTFO at me in this game type? Well, Nublets, I am here to tell you that TDM does in fact have an objective. It's really quite simple. Kill the dirty buggers on the other team before they kill you. Simple, but there is a level of complexity to it as well. A lot of nubs think it's free reign. Do whatever you want, just run and gun. I would seriously argue that logic. If anyone's ever played a game by the name of Dota, or its blatant rip-offs, Heroes of New Earth, League of Legends, etc., there's a term used in those games called feeding. When a nub, like yourself, doesn't know how to play and gives up kills to the other team's heroes, thus helping them level up faster, you are feeding their experience and thus harming your own team. If you run around a TDM like a nub, not worrying about the objective, then you are feeding the other team's score. Because TDM is a race for kills. First team to X amount of kills wins. Hooray! Don't feed the enemy. Tactics can be used, even in simple-minded games like TDM. Smart movements, peeking, and teamwork are going to help you win these game types, and raise your KDR to hero-like levels.
10-3.
Ultimately, what I would like you guys to take out of this is that every time you load up a game of Battlefield, you have an objective. If you want to rise above the ranks of nubhood, you need to go into every game with this mentality. You are there to do a job, so get it done. And of course, have fun while you do it. Because quite frankly, nubs who don't PTFO should GTFO. That's all for today. Good work, guys. Until next time, I am EchophoxGaming, and remember, if the temperature's above 0, you don't need a sweater. See you next time, Nublets.